If you're an HVAC owner, you likely refer to yourself as old school, meaning, oh, I like to do things the old school way. But in reality, if you were still using pen and paper and didn't use the internet, you wouldn't even have a business right now. So as technology advances, you can't keep saying that and using that as an excuse. So I want to share with you how you can leverage this new technology with AI and with automations to automatically book appointments without you and your salespeople having to chase after these leads and beg them to buy your product. All right, so it's a simple process. All right. Now, with this, what we do with our clients is, and I'm not saying you have to go with us or you're required to do this, right? But this is what works best for our clients and has gotten them insane results. Okay, so whether you want to work with us and we can install it for you, or you want to figure this out on your own, completely fine. But this is the future. So what we do is we install a custom calculator on your website or landing page. So what this does is once a homeowner goes on to your landing page or your website, they're going to have the ability to fill out their information, what they're looking for, and get a rough estimate of how much that HVAC system is going to cost. And now why this is so important is because when you're a homeowner, right? Let's put yourself in the shoes of a homeowner. Okay, if you need to get an HVAC system, you have probably seen Inside Edition where they're scamming people, charging people too higher prices, right? Come on, Inside Edition. I have worked in HVAC sales. I understand how it works. They do not trust you. They don't trust you. There's very, very low trust. They always say, "Oh, I got to get 3 estimates. I got 2 other people lined up after this, so I can't make a decision today." I completely understand. But how we work around that is by giving them the opportunity to understand roughly what this is going to cost. And so what they do is they fill out their information, and before they get their estimate, we have them fill out their information. So their name, their email, and their zip code. If their zip code isn't in your area, we disqualify them. Okay. But now that we have their information, we are able to capture that and then bring it into our automation flow. And so what this does is it's able to engage with the leads and reach out to these people and message them and give them, feedback, give them insights, give them their estimate and just talk to them and answer their questions and get them to book their appointment. All right. And then the system automatically books their appointment. And then, we have a custom CRM for you to use where you're able to see all the metrics, all the leads that you have generated. All right. So to break this down a little bit more in depth, the way this works is, so obviously, first of all, we need to funnel people into your website. Okay. And so if you're already using, Facebook ads or Google ads, completely fine, then, this is optional. But if not, and you want to get it set up, we can also help you get set up. So that way you're funneling all these leads into your website. All right. And then the funnel entry point is the custom calculator. All right. And the hot leads, if they like the price and they're ready to go, they have the opportunity to instantly book. Okay. And so they're able to do this through Calendly or GHL, and this instantly goes onto your calendar. And then they now have an appointment set for your sales rep to go out there and give them an official quote. Okay, now the leads that drop off that maybe aren't as hot and they're just shopping around, they get moved into that follow-up layer. And this is where the AI setter is going to be able to reach out to them and nurture them until they book an appointment. And I mean this when I say we are going to be messaging them and conversing with them until they book an appointment. And this isn't just spammy automations of, hey, book an appointment. Hey, here's your estimate. It's actually conversational. So it's going to be acting as if it's a real human being, where if they have questions or they're not sure what to do, we can input all that info from your website and everything else, and the info that you want to provide to help answer those questions and move them further along the line. Because remember, if you're putting yourself in the homeowner's shoes, this is a big decision. Oftentimes they're going to have to finance this. They're going to have to take out a loan. You can't stop pretending that this is just an easy, casual decision for them. This is big. This is expensive. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So we need to move them along the line. And this is able to, build their urgency and ultimately get them to book. All right. And then once they book, we're going to be able to track everything, like I said, on that custom CRM. All right. Now, why is this so important? Why is this so crucial for your business? Well, if you want to grow, you cannot keep having people call your team and ask for a quote, or ask to book an appointment. Because number one, very few people are actually going to do that, because like I said, most homeowners want to get 3 estimates, so they're going to pick the 3 best companies that that look the best. And why, what makes you stand out? What makes you so special? They don't know you. Just because your website, just because you're family owned, that doesn't matter to them. So it's important, for especially with the calculator, that we give them more time on the website, because the more time they have to review your information, the more time they have in front of you, the more likely they're going to be to buy. Okay. And so by automating everything, it gives you more leverage to be able to handle more jobs. When you can cut off majority of the fat of your business, you're able to grow, right? Think about where the fat is laying. Okay, I know it's a weird analogy, but if you imagine your business and you imagine there's chunks of fat on your business that's just weighing you down, you need to figure out, what do you need to cut off to allow you to move faster. Okay, and likely that's the sales process, because if the sales process is way too long, they have to call, they have to get an appointment, they're skeptical, they're not sure, the likelihood of that sale happening is very, very low. All right. And so when we're able to build that trust and, get more screen time with that homeowner, they're more likely to go with you. Because if they go and they look at 10 websites in their area, they go and all they see is, call us to get a quote, book an appointment to get a quote, and they go on your website and they're able to see, okay, this is what I can expect. This is the price of what the HVAC system is going to likely cost. Now I already know this company. I already trust them. We have to stop thinking of being old school, of not being willing to adapt, because if you don't adapt, you die. All right. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of examples of this in modern day, of businesses who are not willing to adapt. And technology, the companies that do adapt to this new technology, is going to run you over. And all of the sales, all of the leads are going to go directly to them, and you're going to get left in the past. Okay. So, whether you want this to be completely installed by us, we can set this up for you. Book a call. There's a link in the description for you to book a call. If you want to figure this out on your own, that is completely fine. For reference, it has taken me months to figure this out, me and my team. So by all means, go ahead, but it might be a little bit more difficult. All right. But if you want this to get fully set up for you, and have our team, our AI team, our automation team, build this, integrate it onto your website, and set up the CRM for you, then book a call and I'll have a quick walkthrough for you, where we could talk a little bit more in depth about how this actually fits into your business.